Hello, good evening, everybody, and welcome to New Era Creative Space's third annual virtual fundraising event. I am NECS's artist in residence, Bria the Artist.
And I am Penn Badgley, and we're your hosts for the evening. So thank you all so much for coming out to support New Era Creative Spaces community. So you might be asking yourself, if you don't already know, I know many of you do, but some of you don't, what is New Era Creative Space? So NECS is an educational organization that is community-based with the mission to develop creative educational programs that are inclusive and accessible to all. So they aim to inspire young people and even their families with everyone empowered to realize their full potential. And Bria, you've really been there from the start. You said something to me that moved me. You said there's nothing like it in the peak
Yeah.
scale community. Can you say a little bit more, like speak from the heart for a moment about what you've witnessed?
Absolutely. So I had the honor of witnessing this for the last 16 to 17 years. And I got to say, I love seeing the eagerness and the brightness in everybody's eyes. They come in every week just ready to get their hands on their first camera, ready to get their hands on the first paintbrush, or even step on the stage for the first time. And I think the best part is when they leave happier than they came in, because it just really it warms my spirit. And sometimes they leave with a new friend. So you gotta love it. I think we're losing Penn. So we're just gonna keep on moving along with the show. Just having technical difficulties. Everybody just bear with us. You know, when you do live events, sometimes you have technical difficulties, and that's okay. We push forward. So, over the next hour, you will hear from our community, listen to music, poetry, and so much more. And the best part is throughout the evening, you're going to have lots of opportunities to support us. So, we encourage you to donate now by texting NECS 2022 to 44321. Again, that's NECS 2022 to 44321 via our website that is also provided in the chat. So, and you can see in the little ticker tape. Look at that. Shout out to Leslie, who is our techie. It's working behind the scenes. We love Leslie. So, we hope that you guys thoroughly enjoyed tonight's program. And for your convenience, we are streaming live via YouTube and Facebook. And to kick us off, I'd like to introduce NECS's board member, Rachel Wimpy, and NECS's exclusive director and founder, Rizwan Boxhall. Welcome, ladies.
Well, hi, good evening. You said
Good evening.
exclusive, so I'm laughing about that. Hi, good evening. So I'm just here for a minute to welcome everyone to thanks for joining us this evening on this great occasion. We're really here to celebrate a year of creative programming here in Peekskill and surrounding areas. And we've grown a lot in the past year because of all of your support, our sponsors and partners. So I'm grateful for that. And enjoy it. We have Bria has worked really hard to put a lot of this together. She's an artist in residence, and I hope you have a good evening, Rachel.
Sure. Hi, thanks, Bria. Thanks, Rizwan. I just wanted to say hello, and on behalf of the board of directors of New Era Creative Space, to welcome you all. I wanted to share a little story about how I got involved. When my kids were little, I heard about this Peekskill organization with just amazingly creative programs, things that I really didn't see anywhere else. I don't live in Peekskill. I'm in the surrounding area. I signed up my kid for a Lego robotics class, and it was truly transformative for him. He experienced teamwork, accomplishment, pride, discovery. He was really able to explore instead of feel confined. And I just wanted to share that, like, I just feel that New Era Creative Space has always been about meeting young people where they are and empowering them to be their full selves. My kids are older now. Last year as a family, we attended that fabulous Melanin Magic theater performance.
Yeah.
And for Juneteenth, we were blown away. I was like, okay, I have to get involved in this organization. And so I just wanted to say, I'm just so proud to be here tonight and to support New Era Creative Space, tonight and year round. And I just want to thank you all for joining us.
Yes, and we want to thank you guys for just being the people that you are and for just being so involved with the program. Rizwan, thank you so much, because we know that a lot of founders of programs like this, sometimes they're not always so hands-on and involved, but you are constantly working. This is one of the busiest women I know, guys. So thank you, ladies, so much. And I will introduce now the NECS theme song. So, little backstory, fun fact. I was tasked earlier this year and had the pleasure and honor. We're playing it now. That's it. Yeah. Thank you, Leslie. We can cut it. Yeah. Thank you so much. So I had the pleasure and honor of being able to write, produce, compose, and record our new NECS theme song. So Rizwan came to me with this idea, and she told me to pretty much take my own creative direction on it. So I was just very thrilled when she said that, because as an artist, we like to take our own creative direction. So I was very inspired by New Era Creative Space's core values, including creativity, joy, justice, and that's just to name a few. So in the future years, the NECS theme song will be sung by NECS Youth Ensemble, at our live showcases, and future community choir, which will be led by yours truly. So what you just heard was a little snippet. And if you want to hear more, you're going to have to join NECS, bring your kids, bring your young adults to come and sing with us, because it's going to be such a great time. Now, let's hear from some of our teachers and parents. Can we bring them on? Yes. Hello. Welcome. So happy to see you guys. So we have Anya Steger and we have Matthew Benson. So welcome, you guys. Can you just one by one give us a little bit of background about your relationship with NECS and how it has impacted you personally throughout the years?
Should I go?
Go ahead.
We can
Yeah,
start.
go ahead.
Yes, we can start with Anya.
Okay. So I am an NECS parent and a teacher, and I live in Peekskill for the last 20 years, and I know Rizwan and her amazing program for many, many years. And my daughters both benefited from participating in it. For Helena, it was absolutely life-changing experience in terms of leadership and responsibility, and her experience as a teacher's assistant, and her absolutely phenomenal experience with the trip to Gambia.
Yeah.
So as a parent, I am unbelievably grateful for just that experience that wouldn't be possible without NECS and Rizwan and this program. And as a teacher, I know I can bring a service to community like Dunbar Heights that is incredibly underserved.
Mm-hmm.
Kids don't have transportation to go to after school program. They lost a lot of education time during pandemic, and we can bring, as this artistic group of teachers, we can bring the program to the kids, to the community room in the place where they live, and create this beautiful space where they are safe, they can create, they feel empowered, they can make their own artistic decisions, starting from the beginning, from unusual materials and unusual process, and then creating and believing in themselves, and finding how important they are, and it's art, but it's also character building.
Absolutely.
We love to see it. Matthew, can you tell us a little bit about your experience?
Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Benson. This is actually my first year involved with NECS. I am a co-director with the Youth Theater Ensemble. And I just remember in the interview process how important the values and making sure that these values were instilled in the children and the youth of this community were. I've been a member of Peekskill pretty much my whole life. We moved here in about 1990. So, you know, being able to see the growth and evolution, and even being able to involve myself in different youth programs in my childhood was very formulative for me. So being able to give back and continue that kind of community building and being able to instill values in the children that, again, like Anya said, are often underserved. Peekskill as a community is extremely diverse, but you know, you find yourselves with pockets of poverty, and being able to give these kids the opportunity to work at high level, you know, different options, whether it's, you know, the theater program, or just we have the new Sony, the new theater, the new filmmaking program,
Right.
that the grant from Sony for. They get to use extremely high level instruments, and that lets them grow and even at a professional level. So I'm just really excited to get started and, you know, continue to grow with this community and this organization, because it's so important, and it was so lacking for a long time.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. I love what you guys said. And if I can just speak on my experience as well, I actually started with NECS back before it was NECS, when I was 13 years old. And that was my first acting experience. So I got on stage for the first time with NECS. And I met Rizwan, and she's always just been a great spirit. All the kids in there were great. Everybody was just really eager to do the same thing and let their creativity flow. And now here I am 17 years later as the artist in residence. And it's just an honor to be able to come full circle with this program and see how much it's grown and how much even the kids are growing throughout this program, because I'm seeing such a difference. A lot of the kids come in really shy, and then they leave with so much confidence and just enthusiasm for life in general. So Anya, I know you mentioned the Dunbar Heights program right earlier. So I wasn't able to be there at the Dunbar Heights program, but we do have a presentation of the program. So in spring of 2022, NECS launched an after-school program at one of the Housing Authority buildings for children ages 6 to 13 years old, which included some virtues like art and movement. And this program also partnered with Second Chance Foods, whose mission is to elevate the health of people and planet by recovering nutritious foods before it goes to waste and delivering it to the tables of hungry families in the Hudson Valley, New York area. So they generously provided healthy meals to NECS after the Dunbar Heights program. And speaking of which, I was able to go there with my camera and interview one of the parents, Miss Valerie Scott. And here's what she had to say. Let's check out a video.
My favorite part is when the children are all in here working and getting along and doing things that are positive. You know, she's talking about friendship, neighborhood, just things that they like, and they agree to all the rules and they play by them. It was really nice. You come in here and see them all doing arts and crafts, and they're all into it, or doing dance and things that they're not exposed to. It was really a nice program, and we appreciate it, and we love that it's continuing.
Hello. I hope you can see me and hear me. So anyway, I've really been enjoying the show. Love what everybody's saying. I hope you are too. Now we have an NECS local community leaders in the Peekskill community who have their own NECS experiences to share. So everyone, please say hello to the president of the Peekskill NAACP, Valerie Eaton, Peekskill City School District's LEAP Director, Maria Flores, and current Mayor of Peekskill, New York, Vivian McKenzie.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, so I think maybe it's just one by one, if you can share some of your experiences with NECS.
I'll give it to Mayor Vivian McKenzie.
So kind of you, Miss Val. So kind.
Yeah, please.
But good evening, everyone. And I just like to say, as Bria, the artist, had said earlier, I knew NECS as New Era Creative Spaces, and my granddaughter actually went through a program there, and it was really enlightening for her, and she did really well. But as we move closer into where we are now, working with Rizwan and the group with the city has been unbelievable. She is always ready and willing to do anything to help young people, young adults, young men, anything. And she is so well-rounded and so worldly. I mean, she can do almost anything. I sat and had a meeting with her. We were talking about ways to address some of our issues here. And she just wanted to know what she could do for the community. And that's always her presence. What can she do? So I really appreciate that. We're looking really forward to working on some programs with her. The program that is being done at Dunbar is just one of the highlights of what they do, but just shows how amazing the program is and how it works with our youth in our community. So I couldn't speak any more highly of an organization, and just very, very glad and proud to have them within the city and to partner with them. I turn it back to you, Val.
Well, I am not only a spokesperson, but I'm also a client. My daughter, who is your NECS's artist in residence, Bria the artist, she and my other two children came to Peekskill, oh my God, 18 years ago. And of course, as a mother, you want to put your children in the best programs you could possibly put them in. You want to succeed. You want them to be happy. You want them to have an easy transition, all of that. And with Rizwan, that was just so easy, right? I mean, amongst other things. And I believe it was Rachel earlier today. She touched upon a little bit. Peekskill is like one of those Storybrooke places, right? You can just about find anything if you're looking for it. It doesn't say that sometimes things are hidden. NECS is a hidden gem. Bria has always been an artist of sorts, but like I always thought she was shy, and then I would hear from parents and teachers, oh, we just, we have to wait for her to warm up. And I'm like, who? Bria? The thing about it is NECS, I think the core values of knowing that children are our future, and that the creative outlet that they have been able to provide for these children lets them find joy in a world of chaos, in my opinion. As the president of the Peekskill NAACP, of course, I've seen chaos. I think a lot of adults, especially Black and Brown, have seen chaos. And I think art in and of itself just has that great outlet. And NECS provides that. And I'm so happy that I was able to come to Peekskill and immediately find something like this program, which helps all children who are our future and who we have to look forward to seeing a little spark of joy in the midst of chaos. So thank you, NECS, for providing this platform for our children here in Peekskill.
So my name is Maria Olivier Flores, and I am the interim acting director of LEAP for the Peekskill City School here. So proud to be here with Mayor McKenzie and Ms. Valerie Eaton. My experience with Rizwan started about 5-6 years ago when I came to the district, and we started this idea of Saturday Academy. We wanted to open up a parent engagement initiative for our families. So we had it in the middle school, and we wanted different activities where the families can be engaged together. And lo and behold, I got to meet some amazing, amazing, amazing people, and Rizwan was one of them. And I got to meet New Era Creative Space, and we talked about the concept of Saturday Academy. And she says, "Yeah, we can work together. These are some of the things that we do." So during Saturday Academy, she was able to share these amazing artists that came in and did these wonderful activities with the whole family. So it wasn't just working with the children, with the adults. They really formulated and did these activities where the whole family could be engaged. And needless to say, it was a hit. The families were enjoying being together on Saturday and doing art and working together. It was just wonderful. So that blossomed into Rizwan and New Era Creative doing some theatrical productions for us. And now it's grown where she is part of our LEAP after school program, doing echo arts with our children, doing, getting to know what art is about at different levels. There is a sense of engagement that I have found with the artists. They truly engage with the families, with the students. They're able to learn. And as Valerie Eaton says, there is a connection. It does bring something out in the students when they engage with with all this, art and get to know and get to express themselves in a different way. And not that she wasn't doing enough, she also has this amazing summer program that she came to offer for our students. So she has this experience of going to the farm for our students and doing wonderful activities throughout the summer. So it really has been my pleasure and a huge gift to be involved with NECS in all of these activities we're doing. And I wish Rivswan, you are definitely a gem here in Peekskill. And I know that our relationship is going to grow because whenever there's an idea, Rivswan steps up and says, "Okay, how do we make it work? What do we need to do? If it's for the children, we're here. We're going to do it." So thank you so much for inviting me here. It's a pleasure, and hoping that our wonderful relationship continues and grows.
I love, love, love what everybody has to say. You guys are really, truly speaking from the heart, and you can tell that NECS is such a great program because everybody's reactions and everybody's experiences are very genuine. And I'm feeling the love of this program. This is just beautiful. Yes, hearts everywhere. So thank you so much for joining, you guys. And we're right on schedule. While we are waiting for our co-host Penn to get his Wi-Fi back, we're gonna move right along. I'm actually looking at the comments and I'm loving what I'm seeing, guys. We have people from Brazil, we have Turkey in the building, we got Harlem in the building. Shout out to everybody from all around the world watching and tuning in and supporting New Era Creative Space, guys. This is just so beautiful. You're doing great. So guys, just hit us up in the chat to let us know how much you're enjoying the show so far. I know I am. And this is going by pretty quick, which I suspected. But we're going to move right along. I want you guys to make sure that you see this little ticker tape at the bottom that says text NECS 2022 to 44321. That is to donate. Okay, guys? We are truly doing a fundraising event with the purpose to raise funds. Because why else? We want to support our youth, and your kind donations really help to keep our programs running for the youth and let us know and let everybody in the community know that this is something that people really do care about. So again, you can text NECS 2022 to 44321, excuse me. And if I'm messing up, just read. I know y'all know how to read, right? So thank you guys so much for your support so far. And I truly have to say that this has been so far a fantastic experience. This is such an honor to be co-hosting this benefit. And I am just really looking forward to the next few years with NECS and to see how much we can grow. So is Penn back on? Not yet. All right, that's okay. We're just going to keep on moving on, guys, because that's what we do. So next up, you guys, we have a treat for you all. We have a very talented group, a local group called the City Singers from the Peekskill City School District, and they're going to be singing a very special selection for you guys. So without further ado, City Singers.
Hi, my name is Angeline Carlos-Caceres, and I'm proudly the president of Peekskill High School City Singers. We are so glad we are able to be a part of NECS's virtual benefit fundraiser. Our first song will be At Last by Etta James, and we hope you enjoy.
All right, City Singers. Y'all was singing that song. We're going to need to get you guys in the youth choir that we're going to be starting for next year. So keep your eyes out. So we're going to move right along to the next segment. And I would now love to introduce you all to our very special part of the show, our keynote speaker, Byron Hurt. Byron Hurt is an award-winning documentary filmmaker. His most recent film, Hazing, is streaming now on PBS. Byron is also a film writer, an activist, a public speaker with a special focus on empowering youth, particularly around gender, race, and class. So I'm very excited to introduce to you all Mr. Byron Hurt, and most of all to listen. So without further ado, please welcome our keynote speaker, Byron Hurt. Hello. While we wait for him, I'm going to remind you guys to donate again. And also, we have some auction items and raffles to give away. Those links should also be in the chat. And make sure that you guys are also sharing this with your family and friends. We have great prizes for you guys. We have self-care packages. We have some paintings to bid on. And we even have one of our parenting coaching sessions with our very own Rizwan Foxhall. Thank you guys so much for supporting so far. You guys are doing so fantastic. And I'm so excited to see what comes of this. Our winners will be announced next week for our live auction, just to give people a little bit more time to bid on some items. Some people find out last minute, and that's okay. So you will have a little bit more time after the benefit to do our live auction. Okay? So again, text NECS 2022 to 44321 to donate. Make sure you click on the link to find out what our prizes and giveaways and auction items are. So while we are waiting for our keynote speaker, Byron Hurt, I think we can move along with the program. Let me just check in. Yes. Okay. No problem. Listen, guys, this is all about rolling with the punches. Okay. Hello, Miss Rizwan Foxhall. We're going to talk about our Gambia trip. So Rizwan, if you don't mind, please take it away. You just have to unmute yourself. There we go. I think she's a little bit delayed.
I am just waiting for my watch party people to hint, to turn the volume off in the next room.
Hint, watch party people.
Yeah. So anyway, because I just wanted to introduce the trip to the Gambia. We had the great fortune of traveling with about 9 of our young people to the Gambia this summer. And I won't talk much about it because I think it's really great to hear from, the participants, which we're going to hear from. But really, it was such a wonderful opportunity to take our programs beyond Peekskill, beyond the US, to the smiling coast of Africa, and for a cultural immersion service learning trip. And I really feel like, getting our children out of their comfort zone, out of their what they're used to, it can be transformative for them, and I believe it was. So I won't say much more other than the director of Gambia of the school Starfish International, where we went, is going to speak. She made a video for us, so we're going to hear from her, and then we're going to see some pictures and hear from our youth. And so I'll move along.
Hello, my name is Mami Asinsar. I'm the co-founder of Starfish International, a girls' education program in the Gambia in West Africa. We had the honor and privilege of working with NECS this summer to come and serve in the Gambia and also look at ties with the US in how young people can see each other as family and work together as family. And so from the director, Rizwan Foxhall, who came and taught a class, to the mentors who taught classes with our mentors at Starfish International, to the students who also sat in the classes and learned with our students, we were able to showcase how the oneness of humanity can really be manifested through service. We looked at men's issues, we looked at mental health issues, we looked at kindness to animals, and we looked at the current discourses in society. What are the subjects that are being talked about? And how can kids from the West and kids from the Global South work together to see that these problems we share and the solutions our young people can come together as one and solve. So to us, supporting NECS means supporting all youth around the world. We know that they are walking the talk, and we know that whoever invests in them invests in the future of humanity. Thank you.
Jalla. It is spelled as ISATOUJALLOW.
My name is Binta Singate. It is spelled as BINTA Binta SINDHATEH Singate.
My name is Hadijan and it is spelled as HADDY and Jan is spelled as JAGNE.
This year, I am one of the students who was lucky to be part of Service International Photography class. I have learned how to capture a moment that tells a story and some of the tools we learn in photography, which are
mapping your story and emotions,
expression, level and light,
vanishing points, leading lines, root of thought, and symmetry.
And I also learned about the ISO, the shutter speed and the exposure.
I'm thanking Auntie Rizwan, Sadio Balde and other mentors that have taken part in this class.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There we go. Hello, everybody. So these are some of our people who were fortunate enough and had the pleasure of actually going to the Gambia. And we are about to hear from their experience firsthand. So we have Ariana, we have Helena, we have James, and we have me as your host. So hello, everybody, and welcome, welcome, welcome. So just one by one, please tell us about your amazing experiences because I'm so eager to hear this and some of your best parts of being at the Gambia. And let's start with Ariana.
Hi everyone, my name is Ariana Okoth and I'm a junior at Peekskill High School. And over the summer, as you all know, Helena and a bunch of other girls who take part of NECS's Empower Ed group had the wonderful opportunity of traveling to the Gambia. And I don't know, I feel like, Helena, I think you can agree, like every day was a highlight. I think we learned something new every single day, whether it was through dancing through life, or Helen and I also had the opportunity of being sort of teachers in one of the programs. So as we were preparing our lesson plans, we were also learning about the world and different facets, whether it was like mental health or it was public service. But I think the most outstanding moment that I can think of was before we would break out into our different groups. Everybody would have an icebreaker and we would be singing and laughing and dancing. And I don't know, I think that captures the hospitality of the Gambia super well.
Nice. Let's go with Helena.
Hi, I'm Helena. Yeah, I feel like I matured so much going through this summer and being in the Gambia, and there was like, I can't pinpoint one experience that stood out to me because it was all just like such a high being so immersed in like a very different culture, but a very personal moment. It makes me like emotional talking about it, but I had the privilege of being a mentor for the youth and mental health class. And it was definitely a very hard class, very emotional. And a lot of the girls shared their stories. And one girl broke down while crying, like she started crying, and all the other girls got up and sang to her, and they were swaying back and forth and they were singing a lullaby. And it was absolutely beautiful to see and really touched my heart.
Oh, that is just so beautiful to hear. And I'll touch back on that after we go to James. James?
Hey, everybody. I was not part of the trip, but my daughter, Isolda, was part of the trip. And I have another daughter who's also part of the Girls Empowerment Group. And when I think about the Girls Empowerment Group and about the Gambia trip, you know, every day we're fed narratives about identity and status and power structures, right? People might look at me and be like, oh, you know, he's a white man from Westchester who works on Wall Street. But that's not how I think about myself. You know, I think about myself as a soccer coach, and, you know, I like to go fishing. Like, that's how I define my identity. And so I think we all know we need to kind of metabolize this narrative that we're fed every day. We need to filter that narrative. And it's not easy to do. We're all creatures to some extent of the landscape that we exist in. And the Girls Empowerment Group, I think, really helps young women take a step back and assess that narrative and kind of look at it objectively, right? Like, I think about, I'm dating myself here, but I think about The Matrix with Keanu Reeves, right? And there's that moment where he steps back and he sees the code and he's like, oh, so that's, now I get it. That's what this is about, right? And the Girls Empowerment Group really, I think, facilitates that for young women. Specifically, you know, my daughter Isolde, what I think was a defining moment for her on that trip was the day in the life, right? Where each one of the participants accompanied a local Gambian student and throughout their day. And you know, it involved, in Isolde's case, it involved a lot of hard work, a lot of chores. And if someone had kind of viewed that description of, like, outside of being there with her, like read about it, you know, they might have kind of optically said, oh, okay, so here's a Black girl, here's a Muslim girl who lives in Africa who has to do a lot of chores every day. Right. And they would have said, well, that's, you know, that's not a high status person in my assessment. But Isolde came back from that trip and was really impacted. You know, what she said to me was, this kid, this teenager, she's younger than me. She's only 13 years old. And she has like a crucial role in putting food on the table for her family every day. Right. She is like an empowered individual in her community. And so that, I think, was extremely powerful for Isolde to kind of have that perspective and then be able to kind of try to take that and think about her own life.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing you guys' experience. It's so good to hear all of these different perspectives, from a parent's perspective versus from a student's perspective. And I wish I had something like this when I was you guys' age. I mean, you know, I had some great experiences, but at the same time, you know, I haven't been to the Gambia. I haven't been there, you know, firsthand and experiencing these things and being able to sit down and eat with them and talk with them, laugh with them, cry with them. I was going through, so when I was editing the video, I was getting emotional because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing you guys, the tears, I'm seeing the emotions behind everything. And I'm in awe that such a thing is provided with, you know, on both sides, people from America and people from the Gambia. And I think that it's great that you guys got a great experience out of it. And we're able to learn some things out there. So what were some of the things that you guys learned? What were some of the things that stood out to you guys the most?
Well, I got to see how the Starfish School used theater in such a meaningful and intentional way, not just in education, but also as an outlet to talk about issues that maybe can't really be discussed in other ways because of social and cultural limits. And it gave me such a deep sense of purpose that this is something I want to spread and continue in my life. So
beautiful. And how about you, Ariana?
I definitely concur with Helena, but I also think I think growing up as an American teen, we're so just overwhelmed and bombarded with all these messages that sort of kind of leaves us depressed and sad all the time. But when I was doing a day in a life, like Mr. James was speaking about, I was physically forced to do, I don't know, just a lot with a little, because even like what we would use like a blender at home, we had to physically mash up the vegetables. But I was so happy doing it. Me and the mentee I was with, we were just having fun and talking and just actually enjoying life. So I was like, I was able to bring home a sense of contentment and a sense of gratitude, because no matter my situation, I can really just make most of what's given with me. And I think that will forever stick out with me.
That is so, so beautiful. I love hearing it from you guys firsthand. I love hearing it in your words. Thank you guys so much for joining. And I hope that you guys continue with the program and continue to get the most out of life in general. Thank you, James, for putting your daughter in the program as well and giving her that experience, because I'm sure she won't forget it the rest of her life. So thank you guys so much. We love hearing your experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So I believe we're on schedule. And hello, Penn. Welcome back.
Hey there.
Yay.
Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, so much better.
Wow. Yeah,
Beautiful.
I really apologize for all that, but I've been able to see a little bit, especially that last part, and it's been very moving. So I'm at least happy to play, some role and to learn here. Am I introducing Byron now? Can I do that?
I believe so.
Okay, great.
Leslie, is Byron ready? Uh-oh, Byron lost power. He's powering back up.
All right. Well, I'm not the only one. If I could just say for a second, the reason I'm here is because of Rizwan Foxhall, and this all, I don't want to say it doesn't all go back to her, because this is about so many people, but speaking just to the integrity of the program and what we're all here tonight thinking about, we are here to contribute, to participate. And I mean, Bria, you said yourself, you wish you had something like this when you were their age. And the point is to grow the program. The program started small. You were there at the outset, but it was small then. No one was going to the Gambia, but now like that's happening. And the idea that so many more young people can have these experiences now through all this hard work and through these donations that folks can provide. I mean, that's what we're here to. That's what we're here thinking about. That's what we're here to do. So just reminding everybody, I believe you can. What is it? You can text any. I don't have the number in front of me.
NECS. It's NECS 2022. There it goes.
Right.
Right down there.
There we go. Ticker. So I think we're going to introduce partners. And is that correct?
Sure, I believe so. Actually, before we get to our partners, we have another special presentation for you. I had the pleasure of recording and editing this next video, but it's nothing without the pen work. And that doesn't mean you, Penn Badgley. I had to throw that pun in there.
Definitely not tonight.
I just had to.
Definitely not tonight. You're going to have to do it all without me.
But let us keep the program going with a little bit of spoken word. That's another art form that we love and that we are also teaching our youth. So we have a very talented local spoken word artist, and he's also my good friend. His name is Kyle Council. He's a photographer and spoken word artist with the stage name I Poetic. So he describes his purpose as exploring the core essence of life through both the camera lens and his heartfelt words. He aims to offer advice and encourage confidence in expressing oneself through photography and spoken word. So here is my super talented friend, I Poetic.
It's taught that it's a dog-eat-dog world. They want you to see yourself as a god. I mean a dog. But it's not the first time they taught us how to evil. Live backwards. Taught us less about community and more about selfish ideologies, crabs in the barrel mentality that only I can make it, and maybe I'll be able to come back for you. Only I's and me's. A single plant doesn't deserve a forest of trees with no one mention of snakes. I mean, my community is a garden, a place of nourishment, a place to get fed. Too bad I've seen more role models, farmers, seeding other soils more than their own, and then look back and wonder why this one hasn't grown. So many of us are looking for nourishment, but look in places that don't have the answers, but look to people who don't have the answers, but look to other gardens. I was once a seedling. Ask me how I grew. Ask me how I stayed fed in artistic famine. Ask me how I stayed watered when I was too scared of being judged if I let my creativity flow. Ask me how I blossomed. Ask me if this is the part of the poem where you get some fire metaphor for a redemption story that's set in a garden that's flourishing. See, I learned that as long as I have God, my family, my community, and someone with enough time, patience, and kindness to help water my garden, that we will be enough. I pray that I find those words to help water this garden so that other seedlings will grow and prosper, and maybe they'll find those words too. They say poetry is a way to paint pictures with words and tell the truth. Well, my name is iPoetic, and I was once an untamable youth.
Bria, you shot and edited that. I really love that. That's moving. Again, you know, I also wish when I was like 15 years old or so that I had exposure to this sort of programming and these sort of people, the sense of community. It doesn't really matter where you grow up. It's not easy to find, so it's beautiful to see. All right, now, so I think we are going to introduce Byron, and I want to say that we are very near our goal. We are at. I'm hearing that we are at 40,000, so that means we are 10,000 from our goal. So this is where everybody just going that little extra mile starts to help, you know. And remember, when we meet 50, that means it gets matched by one of our sponsors. So that's, you know, so just really encouraging everybody to consider that. Don't want to be too pushy, you know, want us to enjoy ourselves, but that is why we're here. Right. Okay, so now I think we are moving on to our keynote speaker, you know, a nice moment in the evening. His name is Byron Hurt. Byron is an award-winning documentary filmmaker. His most recent film, Hazing, is streaming now on PBS. Byron is also a writer and activist and public speaker with a special focus on empowering youth, particularly around gender, race, and class. I'm very excited to introduce everyone to him and most of all to listen. So without further ado, Mr. Byron, please take it away.
Thank you so very much, Penn. I appreciate it. And thank you to NECS Space for inviting me into this space, no pun intended, to be your keynote speaker. And I want to give a special shout out to board member Leslie Fields Cruz for contacting me about this opportunity to speak with you all tonight. And I'd also like to thank and acknowledge Ridvan Adara for her leadership and vision as the founder of NECS Space, and everyone on her team. So thank you all very, very much. I don't have much time with you tonight, so I'd like to get right to my talk, which will be very brief. When I was a senior in college, I took a class called Blacks in the Media and the Press, taught by a woman named Dr. Elizabeth Hadley Friedberg. And Dr. Friedberg was a really tough teacher who taught her students about the history of Blacks in film and in television. And it was in her class that I was exposed to the works of Marlon Riggs, a Black gay filmmaker based in the Bay Area. His films, Color Adjustment, Tongues Untied, Ethnic Notions, and his last film before he died, Black is Black Ink, continue to be among some of my favorite films. I was so transformed by his work, which examined issues around race and gender and sexuality, that I decided in that moment that I wanted to become a documentary filmmaker. But I was afraid. I didn't have any filmmakers in my family. I didn't know any filmmakers my age. I didn't think I could make a career out of being a documentary filmmaker. And I didn't think I would be able to make money to live. But I knew that I wanted to be a filmmaker like Marlon Riggs. In Boston, where I lived, I would occasionally run into the great Henry Hampton at a corner store called Store 24, right around the corner from my apartment. Henry Hampton was a legendary documentary filmmaker who produced the Hallmark civil rights documentary series, Eyes on the Prize. And each time I saw Mr. Hampton in that store, I would approach him and let him know that I appreciated his work. He was such a legend to me. He was larger than life. I would tremble as I spoke to him. That's how in awe I was of him. In addition to Henry Hampton, I was also inspired by great filmmakers, Orlando Bagwell, my broadcast journalism professor, Andrew P. Jones, Kathy Sandler, who made a film called The Question of Color. These Black filmmakers showed me that making films as a career was possible. And I had this incredible hope of becoming a great filmmaker like them one day, but I still had these intense feelings of fear when thinking about pursuing film as a career. As much fear that I had, I didn't allow the fear to hold me back, though. I made my first professional film after I graduated from college, and it was called I Am a Man, Black Masculinity in America. That film took me 5 years to make. It had been funded by the National Black Programming Consortium, now Black Public Media, and it was offered to PBS for a national broadcast, the same station where Marlon Riggs's work had been featured. I thought that my film was going to air on public television like Marlon's films did, but PBS rejected my film. I was so deflated and sad. I had spent so much time working on that film and put so much energy into that documentary, but I fell short of my goal. I developed an even more intense fear of failure and rejection as a result, and I kind of went into a shell. I didn't want anyone to know that I had failed. So out of necessity, I ended up taking a job working as a public relations specialist at my alma mater, Northeastern University. But I quickly realized that public relations was not for me. I felt like I was impersonating a PR person and taking someone else's job who really wanted to do PR. My passion was documentary filmmaking, not public relations. And I was hiding from my true love, filmmaking. And after about a year on that job, I decided that I was going to quit and get back to making films. But I was scared. I was scared that if I quit my job to focus on filmmaking full time, that I wasn't going to make it, that I may once again fail. And one day I called my parents and my sister and I spoke to them for what seemed to be hours. And I told them that I wanted to move back home to Long Island to be a filmmaker and pursue filmmaking in New York City. But they could hear fear and a lack of confidence in my voice. And then finally, my sister asked me, Byron, what are you so afraid of? And then my father said something to me that I'll never forget. He said, if you're going to quit your job to become a filmmaker, Byron, then you have to be committed to it. You can't be afraid. That was powerful. I ended up moving back home to Long Island and back into my parents' home at age 30. And when I say back home, I mean my childhood home, like my childhood room home at age 30 to begin my full-time career as a documentary filmmaker. I worked as a production assistant for Stanley Nelson's film, Marcus Garvey, Look for Me in the Whirlwind. And after that project, I decided to strike back out on my own to make another film. And as I began writing the treatment for my next documentary, my computer died. So I had to send it into Apple to get it fixed. And they told me that it would take 2 weeks for it to get fixed. So I decided to take that time to read a book. And I walked into Barnes & Noble, and right there in front of the store, right in the front section, was a white book with red letters called Attack Your Fear and Win. It stood out to me like a sore thumb. And I picked that book up and I bought it. I went home and I read that entire book from cover to cover, and it gave me the confidence and the fuel that I needed to attack all of the fears that I had about making another film. And after I read that book, I sat in my childhood room at age 30, and I wrote the treatment for a film called Hip Hop Beyond Beats and Rhymes. Now, that treatment got rejected 3 times by a funding organization called ITVS. But I refused to give up on my dream of making another film, and I submitted it for a 4th and final time, and they ended up funding me. And that film ended up being selected to the Sundance Film Festival, and it aired nationally. Where? On PBS, drawing an audience of over 1.5 million viewers. And it was the big break that I needed in pursuit of pursuing a career in documentary filmmaking. And I've been making films ever since. I attacked my fear and I won. Just 2 months ago, my most recent film, Hazing, aired on PBS. I say all of that to say to many of you that you may have dreams of becoming a filmmaker or an artist or a writer or a dancer or an author or a performer. And I'm here to tell you that over the course of your career, you will have high hopes and low moments. You will feel extreme confidence and you will become mired in self-doubt. You will receive tons of positive feedback and support and will face lots of negative feedback and rejection. But never, ever, ever stop believing in yourself or give in to your fear. Attack your fear and win. Thank you.
Byron, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate hearing your story. Especially as a filmmaker on my side, being in front of the camera, it's just really inspiring to hear. So thank you so much. I hope everyone else enjoyed it.
You're welcome.
All right. So now we're going to get to something called Nature Connection. This is a program that NECS introduced to enable children to explore the natural world around them, connect them with how their food is grown and produced, and help them understand their connection to the earth and its inhabitants. Also, Nature Connection addresses the sentiment of many local Peekskill children of color who feel unwelcome in community parks and other natural areas. So NECS partnered with local businesses and organizations to provide experiences on the Hudson River, hiking, yoga, farming, arts and crafts, and leadership and community building activities. So we're going to show you a short presentation about how NECS connects with nature.
Hello, everybody, and welcome, welcome, welcome. So we have our partners and funders here, guys. Welcome all. I know we're a little bit behind schedule, but we're just going to keep on pushing forward, and we can't leave this program without hearing from you guys who help make all of this possible. So who do we have here? We have we have JP, we have Laura, we have Kat and Kevin. Hello, everybody. Everybody say hello to them.
Hi.
Show them
Hi.
love. Yes. So if you guys can speak a little bit about your relationship with NECS, how you guys support us, and what kind of impact it's had on your business. Let's start with Laura.
Sure. Well, of course, I've been affected by everything that's been said this evening. So I just wanted to share a couple of things. Recently I was at an event and the person there said, "How many of you know how to draw? Raise your hand." And it was really interesting that very few people raised their hand. And they said, when you go into a room with children and you say, "How many of you know how to draw?" Everyone raises their hand and they get really excited. Right. And I think that when you are taught the arts, sometimes it can be done in a way that makes you recognize that you are so full of potential and that creativity is a gift that belongs to you for the rest of your life. Whether you become an audience member, whether you use it to express what's going on in your life, or whether you become a professional. And I think that that's what New Era Creative Space does so well, is that they cultivate the beautiful potential and treasures and virtues and values that are inside everybody. And then there's some places that make you not want to raise your hand when someone asks you if you know how to draw. And so we really love supporting New Era Creative Space because they not only see the potential in every single young person, but they bring out that beauty of community and joy and help young people recognize how much is inside of them. And I think that we're really in an arts desert right now. And, in talking with Rizwan and asking, what it was that she needed, I have to be honest, her what's happening there, is what's happening in a lot of places. Is she has the most amazing staff. New Era Creative Space has this incredible staff that's so dedicated. And the reality is that, they're one bad situation, one COVID, one just emergency away from crumbling. And so the way that we're supporting them, and the reason why I'm hoping people are going to continue to give tonight, is we're trying to support a stronger staffing structure. Everyone there has been giving from like love and blood and sweat and tears for such a long time, and that's not a sustainable structure. So we're really trying to help at Wayfarer Foundation to try to help and support in a way that everybody can in the community can continue to say, oh, that was me 16 years ago. And now here's, my children who are doing it and my grandchildren who are doing it, and so on and so forth. And it can continue to be a sustainable structure in the community.
Yes, I love that. And thank you so much, Laura. I don't know if we mentioned, but Laura is from the Wayfarer Foundation. And I definitely relate to your drawing analogy earlier, because I've done drawing with kids and I've done paint and sip classes with adults. And no matter what, I tell them, I have them taking a little oath and they have to repeat after me saying, I will not insult my own painting. I will not insult my neighbor's painting. And then I tell them I will not dip my brush into my cup and drink it, because it happens at every class. It happens at every class. But let's move on. Thank you so much, Laura. And next we'll hear from Kat and Kevin from Keaton's Kids.
Hi, I'm Kat Guthrie.
I'm Kevin Spath.
Yeah, Keaton's Kids, we're a fairly new organization. We started in honor of my son Keaton, who died surfing about 4 years ago. And we wanted to turn tragedy into treasure. And the way we thought we could do that was to support kids to go on outdoor transformative adventures. That's what Keaton's Kids is all about. And we paired up with NECS, and Rizvan is just full of imagination and ideas. And we were just really happy to support them. The first thing we did was take them out on a high ropes course. And we related to what Byron was saying, to overcoming fear. We love the Eleanor Roosevelt quote that you can overcome. You gain confidence and courage by overcoming fear and doing it every day. We have a little video that we can show you of some of the things that we did. We brought kids to our home and taught them swimming, because so many oftentimes kids of color or don't really learn good swimming skills. And so we wanted to teach them that. And so we had them at our home to teach them swimming. We took them hiking, and there's a little video that we can show you. I don't know if I can talk over the video or not, but Leslie, you want to show that video?
You are a beacon of light in the world. You are the northern star. You are a beacon of light in the world. Be who you are. I am, you are. We are a star. I am, you are. We are a star. Be who you are. Be who you are. Be who you are. Be who you are.
I just want to say it was so inspiring to have the kids at our house and to take them out hiking and to see them overcoming their fear. And it's like, it feeds us. And I know it was, yeah.
Just to be part, just to know of NECS and Ridvan's leadership and creativity and enthusiasm, and just bringing as much life to young people as possible. And we can be a part of that now. And we're just so grateful to continue our relationship with NECS down the road.
Yeah, who knows what's going to happen next.
New adventures.
our ideas are open. We're ready for more.
I love to see it, and I would love to get outdoors with you guys one day, and hoping that
Go over and swim, Brianna. Go ahead.
Yes, I gotta get over my fear of heights. So I'm looking at everybody doing the, the tightrope walking and the zip line and everything.
And
I'm gonna
like
do it one
Byron,
day.
like Byron pointed out, his own facing that fear and then just not
Yes.
giving into it, but just going for it. And the experience, the feedback from the kids as they go through a challenge, it's like they're surprised at themselves, so proud that I did this.
Yeah, and just having one of the girls. It was the girls empowerment group, and having one of the girls just say, "I can't do it," and I said, "Okay, you can get down. We'll take you down." And then she just want to try it. And she said, "Okay, I'll try it." And then she's like, "That was fun."
I love it. I love it. You guys are
It was
transforming
magic.
lives. Yes, you guys are truly transforming lives, and I love to see it. I love to hear about it. So next up we have JP from 100 Cameras.
Thank you. Yes, JP from 100 Cameras. We equip educators around the world how to teach kids how to tell their stories through photography. And it was such a privilege to partner with New Era Creative Space and Rizwan with a number of students there in Peekskill, also in the Gambia, as you saw in that video. And we're all about having kids tell their own stories, youth tell their own stories, and we're also all about those youth being taught by people in their own communities rather than having people come from the outside. So New Era Creative Space was just an absolute no-brainer for us to partner with. And I want to show some of the images that the students created in the program. This page is on our website at 100cameras.org. You could see all about the program itself and see some quotes from Rizwan and Ocean, who taught the program, and here's some pictures from the program. But I want to get to really what there is to see here is the student image gallery. And these were just some of the really beautiful images that Rizwan's students created. And I have to say, the really beauty, how stunning these images are is a reflection of the space, the creativity, the generosity, the big heart of Rizwan, and the space that she's created at New Era Creative Space. So we're just so grateful to be partnered with them and grateful to be with you all here. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. We're grateful to have you guys. And I got to say, a lot of those pictures I can see hanging up on a wall, and professionally framed and everything. So
yeah, the next fundraiser.
Yes, exactly. That's so awesome to see. Penn, is these organizations and everything, all these programs that we're hearing from, is this something that you wish that you had when you were younger?
It is actually. I mean, the funny thing is that when I was young, I was working professionally, actually. But the way people might imagine that is it doesn't mean that it's full of substance. It doesn't mean that it's making you a better person. It doesn't mean that you're growing. It doesn't mean that you have community. It doesn't, it actually doesn't mean that it is fulfilling. I've been working for maybe 25 years, and this is something that I don't feel like I've seen. I've seen the stirrings of it, grassroots kind of like neighborhoods and stuff, you know what I mean? But you definitely don't see this in the industry at scale, at large. And so I just maybe want to take a moment and appreciate through what all of your organizations are providing and the hard work of everybody who's a part of NECS, that this is it's very special. It is really special. And I mean, this is me. I've known Rizwan for a while, but I'm really just getting to know NECS here, and I'm really excited to be starting a relationship that I hope goes for a while, and to get to know this group of people a little bit better.
Yes. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank you for all of your support for NECS, and please continue doing what you do.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right. So our virtual benefit is almost over, but we've come to quite a heavy moment in our program. Some of you guys may already know, but about a month ago, two of our students, they're actually sisters, Emily and Caitlin Quinn, they were in a pretty bad car accident, and it left them hospitalized, and it left Emily in critical condition. So We would like to take this moment to have a moment of silent prayer for the Quinn family. Let us take a moment of silent prayer. Thank you all. And if you would like to help support the Quinn family during this very difficult time, please use the GoFundMe link provided in the chat. I'm sure Leslie will put that in the chat for you all. NECS is a family, and every family has its moments of sorrow and ups and downs, but your support definitely gives us strength to move forward. So, speaking of moving forward, we just have a few more things left in the program. Please hang in there. So, Penn, I'm going to have you introduce our next portion.
All right. So, New Era Creative Space is proud to have launched a new program this fall. It's called Afrofusion Dance, led by teaching artist Amanda. Here is a snippet of how her Afrofusion dance classes are going. Cool.
I love it. Yes. And Amanda's a great teacher. I actually met Amanda at my church the Sunday before I met her through NECS, and she said, "Hey, do you go to Mount Olivet Baptist Church?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "I just met you." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So it was kind of it was funny how that worked.
That's
Small world.
Cool. That's another example of how this really is a community-based organization. So that's cool to hear.
Yes, it absolutely is. And Peekskill being such a tight-knit community, and it's a small town, but just such big people here, and big love all around. So we would like to take this time to now thank our sponsors. Yes. So we have plenty of sponsors and supporters throughout this program, and there's so many on the list, but we would like to just extend our love, and I want you guys to put in the chat as well. Just send some love to them, because they are the ones who help keep this program going and help us to be able to do what we do with our youth and build up our community. So we'd like to thank each and every person who was kind enough to lend a smile, a dollar, or a helping hand to NECS throughout the years. And it's because of you that we're able to do our work and build our community. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
And thank you again.
Yes.
Now, before we go, we do have, so I want to just be clear. Are we going to the Sony video, or are we doing the announcement for next year?
Yes. I'm so sorry. We must go through our Sony video. We cannot.
So before any kind of announcement about next year, this year isn't over. The benefit's not over. We have a video. Bria, why don't you introduce it?
Sure. So speaking of our supporters and partners and funders, New Era Creative Space was lucky enough to be chosen as a Sony Create Action grant recipient. We received $50,000 in Sony Electronics products to support a plan to create a filmmaking and photography program. And this following Sony produced short film telling our story. Let's watch.
I was having a conversation with someone recently, and they were like, this is more than just like theater, you know. And I said, in a little way, we're trying to change the world.
NECS as a whole has just given me so many opportunities that I thought I would never have had. And it's just taught me so much more about myself. Like before, I was very shy. I did not want to be a part of the stage. I didn't want to write. I didn't want to sing. Get me out of it. But I was able to like foster this whole community because of acting, and then also learn values assigned with it. And I just kept coming back. I brought my best friends, and NECS has just given me so many life values.
I think the students, they may not become actors or directors or producers, but they'll be able to leave NECS, New Era Creative Space, with compassion for others, listening, understanding, bravery, these values that they can take with them throughout their whole life.
How do we use our individual talents, our creativity to impact others in a positive way? Because the world needs positivity. The world needs people who are working together. The world needs people who are empathetic and loving and kind, you know?
It's like built on these values and these foundations that we take long after whatever's on the script. That's what we put in our daily lives, and it makes us who we are.
There's a quote that I have quoted to the girls and to some of the youth before when they're feeling like, oh, I'm not good enough. And I love this quote. I learned it a long time ago. It goes, thou art my lamp and my light is within thee. Get thou from it thy radiance and seek none other than me. For I have created thee rich and have bountifully shed my favors upon thee. It's a Baha'i quote, and I love it. I love the idea that, you know, the light is within us, right? And we're created rich. So that's where we get our radiance from, right here. We don't need to seek it out there. We need to. So I always use this quote with the kids and dissect it with them, because I'm like, who are you? You know, you don't need approval from others. Everything you have is within you. Get your radiance from within.
I just think of Rizwan as just a guiding force and just a light in the world, and she deserves all her flowers now while she's alive and even when she's gone.
I mean, there it is, right? That I'm not trying to change the world, but if I can get one individual to look at herself in the mirror and say, I am worth it, right? Then we've done something.
I feel if I hadn't done this, I wouldn't have been able to speak up for myself. Because I was always the guy in the corner, and it has helped me come out of that corner and come out and express myself.
I hope that these kids leave with enlightenment. I hope that they leave with a sense of self, sense of worth, and a voice to speak up in whatever situation they find themselves in the future.
The community that I have and the friends that I've made, I know that those are lifelong friends. I know that they got my back, and if I need anything, or if I'm ever in trouble, I can go back to the work that we've done and then the people and the friendships that we've created, and I can always go back to that.
Getting back to community is going to save us. And I think if we start to realize that sooner than later, we can start to change things. We can start on small levels in our small communities to collaborate, work together, create spaces where our young ones feel like they belong to community and they have a voice in community. And if we can start listening to them and getting their input and having them be part of the transformation, because they'll have ideas. I can see that they are a voice for positive change in the world, and God, the world needs that.
Beautiful.
You know, I do want to say this is not an overstatement. I'm not just trying to play the part here. That is really impressive. It's not the first time I've seen that video, but I feel like, you know, the Hollywood media system needs that, you know,
Yes.
because the arts at a professional level are not necessarily empowering for youth. You know, the
Mhm.
stories we hear, the things I grew up alongside, and to see this, that like truly taking that essence of art and helping it to inspire. I mean, that's
Yeah.
like, it's extremely moving and it's extremely powerful. And I think if you
Yeah.
know, yeah, I'm just reflecting here. So I you know,
Yeah, reflect
anyway.
away. I've seen that video about 8 times and it doesn't get any less inspiring every time I
Yeah.
watch it. So, yes. So guys, let's get ready to close out our show. And before we do, Penn Badgley, why don't you announce this?
I think we have an announcement, just a taste of what's to come in next year's gala. It's not going to be me telling you about it. I'll let the person on camera tell you about it. His name is Rainn Wilson.
Hi there, everybody. My name is Rainn Wilson. I'm an actor and a writer, among other things, and I'm really thrilled to be a fierce advocate for New Era Creative Space. And I'm even more thrilled to be hosting their benefit in 2023 as an opportunity to join us, the whole community, and celebrating these youth. It's going to be a great event. Sorry I can't be with you this year. I'll be with you.
Oh, I'm so excited for next year. Oh my gosh. We get to do an in-person gala, guys. I mean, this year's gala, this year's virtual benefit has been absolutely awesome. And thank you. I know I keep repeating myself, but I'm just so I'm elated and I'm very grateful and thankful to everybody who came and spoke today, all of our speakers, our keynote speaker, Byron Hurt, my celebrity co-host, Penn Badgley. Thank you so much.
Yes,
and
yes.
to Rizwan for presenting me with this opportunity. It definitely it inspired me to grow more, not only as an artist, but as a teacher of young people, of youth, and just as a human being overall. And I want to be like you when I grow up, Riz.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
So just a reminder to everybody that it's not officially over right now. You know, this virtual moment is, but we still have the auction and the raffle up for a week. Is that correct? The auction and raffles are up for another week.
Yes.
So people can bid and enter to win either the raffle or, you know, the auction. So I think like, you know, we're not quite there. We want to make sure we get there. There's an autographed gift from Rainn that people can bid on. There's a lot of things. We want to name some of the things here. We have like 3 beautiful handmade bags from the Gambia. There's 3 sets of 6 melamine plates. I mean, there's cosmic gifts by a woman named Anne Aleva. There's a lot of, I don't want to list them all, but I encourage everybody. You know, you pay for a Netflix subscription, or you pay for a Disney Plus subscription, or you pay for, how many subscriptions are there now? Just go, just check out the auction, check out the raffles, just see, because we're almost there. We really want to try to get there. The spirit of this event is the power of art to empower young people. So all of the items and all the giveaways, you know, well, I guess actually the auction items themselves, like a lot of them are artistic. So that's why we're all here. Check out those things.
Yes, please. And we're actually less than $10,000 away from our goal now, guys. So please.
Considering how many people are a part of it, you know, it's like just all those little extra bits. It's always tough to ask, but it would be worse not to. So thank you for considering it. Thank you everybody so much for coming, participating in any manner. Like you saw at the end of that video, like just get involved. You know,
and somebody wants to
say in whatever way you can.
Great job, everybody. Look at that, President. How did you get here so fast? Thank you, President Eaton, for joining us. Thank you all so much. Thank you again, Penn Badgley. I had a great time hosting with you.
Yeah, you too, Bria. Really, thank you for including me.
Of course. All right, guys. And without further ado, we'll let you see a little bit more of our full programs and our auction items just to get it back in your brain and get you prepared to open your wallets and open your hearts.
In that.